dare I say, the most shocking, interesting, unpredictable episode of that Mashle greatness. Now, the fight between Mash and Margaret was fantastic, and honestly, I didn't expect Mash to win. Call me crazy, I knew Innocent Zero was approaching and I was like, oh, it's gonna look like he's about to lose, or maybe Margaret would be about to lose, Innocent Zero crashes, and then we fight Innocent Zero. We never know for sure. We get a great fight. It's fantastic. We'll talk about it in length. Son. This is starting to maybe make a little more sense, because if we're actually going the biological route, which I feel like is the likely chance, now I'm not guaranteed on it because I've seen these cases where it's like, you're my son, but it's not actually your son, it's more of a metaphorical thing, but I don't think so. We know Mash was abandoned and was found as a baby, and we also know he's freakishly strong, like, beyond normal training abilities. If this dude's after power, what type of bullshit could he have done with kids? And does that maybe explain some bullshit with Mash? I don't know. But when you can casually stroll in and freeze the entire Coliseum, Mash included, that is broken. If you have to fight that, like, in theory you can't. And then Dumbledore comes down, Mr. Longbeard, and says, nah, I don't think so. And I'm like, okay, maybe I've underestimated you, because I didn't think you were really, you know, I've never hated him, mind you, but I've never really looked at him as the competent sort, and I think he's about to prove us wrong, because what the hell just happened? And where do we go from here? I have a full live reaction over on my Patreon. If you want to see my full uncut thoughts and shocked reactions, they're over there if you're interested. Now, Innocent Zero rolls in basically by himself. We start the episode off, I'm thinking I'm watching the Shura for a second. I was like, why are we watching some dude on some dragons? Comes in basically as a one-man army, and by the end of the fight, which we do get to see the full fight, which normally you can't say, because usually when two insane characters are going at it and then insert the actual evil, usually they blue balls you and don't show you the final result. They say, we'll have a rematch later. First, we gotta team up and take care of this dude. No, they finished the fight, and it was fantastic. Comes in and freezes time. Like, this is so impressive, because I thought for sure the route we were going, and maybe it could still happen, but I appreciate that they didn't do it right away, is that Mash would break free. Because he's so strong, he would break time restraints themselves, and then he'd punch Innocent Zero. No, like, Innocent, he came in there. I don't know how old Dumbledore did it, but I mean, I appreciate a good magic world. The great wizard or the great mentor or teacher who just should be an old wise bastard, is apparently an old wise bastard, and probably has a few magical tricks up his sleeve to say, this whole area is frozen in time? It's a shame it didn't work on me. That's some pretty big dick energy. I'm excited for that one. And like I said, the skeptical side of me wants to say it's not actually his son, because I've seen so many cases where they say that, but the thing that really makes me want to commit to it is because we know Mash was abandoned as a baby, so it's like, that actually does make a lot of sense. And I don't know, is Mash just a sacrifice? Is Mash a part of his army? Like, I don't know, but he wants Mash for power for some reason, and it's gonna be exciting. Now, the main meat and potatoes was Margaret versus Mash, and to be honest, I didn't have a lot of confidence Mash was winning. I can already hear people say, well, how could he's the main character, of course he'd win, or, oh, Margaret's actually not that impressive. I mean, I walked into the fight being like, we've already seen Margaret lose before, so like, Mash should be able to do it. But it kind of felt like over the course of like 5 or the first 8 minutes of this fight, it really was like, oh, it kind of felt like Margaret was fighting with Shackles a few episodes back when Margaret was with those 2 other people. And it's like, maybe that's a big reason, because when you hear last episode that, oh, anyone who goes up against Margaret wouldn't pass. Like, I don't think that's a fool's way of looking at things. I think, in general, if you throw Margaret against any person, they most likely wouldn't pass, including the person who ended up bodying Margaret like 2 or 3 episodes back, give or take. I forget the exact episode, but you know what I'm talking about, when we split heaven and earth and we had to run for our life. But there's so many little moves, because the idea of sound is a very powerful magic, because Margaret literally ruptures the eardrums of her boy at one point. And as stupid as the transformation was, I mean, it looked cool at first, like demonic, and then it's like, okay, you're just a child now. The idea that the teleports, the whispering, and just like, it felt like instant death magic at points. I was like, man, that would like one-shot most people. And we know Mash is strong, and it's hilarious. I'm cracking up when he's dead ass telling the crowd, these are my magic moves. he's still, even after being exposed, he's still naming his attacks like it's muscle magic. And at some point, I mean, hell, there was a couple of people in the crowd who were talking about Mash's magic. He's already gaslighting this crowd into thinking that he has magic again, even though everyone knows he does. It's just like, at some point, we're gonna end this show, and it's gonna turn out that, like, he doesn't have magic. Muscle magic isn't a thing. He is just, he's a freak of nature from some experiment where maybe his magic was removed because of Innocent Zero or something, and, you know, just his body is superhuman. Like, at the end of the day, it's not gonna be magic, but he's gonna still have everyone convinced that it is magic. And it's hilarious because his tricep kicks, his whirlwind, whatever else he's doing, it's ridiculous. But the idea that his senses are so strong that he's able to feel vibrations, like predicts things before they, I'm like, there's so many moments that would normally have, there's at least 2 or 3 moments that would probably have one-shotted any other opponent. And I don't think what they said last week is incorrect. If you throw Margaret against pretty much anyone, they wouldn't pass. I really believe that. With what we saw, what they're capable of, I think that's true. Mash is just a freak of nature and surprises you in ways. A pink, now, you can make a lot of jokes about what them fingers do, but just try to grab your own shirt off. Like, yeah, if you cup it, it's a little different, but to grab, like, he grabbed it and was able to pull that bastard down and went. A pinky. The speed, digging under the ground, I'm just like, what is with this character? But literally, there's so many moments where it looks bad for Mash. Couple of moments I'm wondering if maybe Margaret cheated, because I said it last video that they should have a dome, a magical barrier, because the shit they were doing could, the crossfire, the friendly fire in the crowd, he teleports up into the stadiums. Like, stick to your arena, douchebag. Like, that's all I'm saying. But I really thought it was gonna be a draw. I thought either one of them was about to lose and then Innocent Zero flies in, does his thing, gives up or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I just felt like there's no way we get a victory. And we actually did, and 2 seconds later, Innocent Zero comes in. And I have to appreciate Mashle for letting us see the final parts of the battle, because a lot of times, like shonens, battle shonens, anything with a tournament-style arc like this, where you know there's a third party about to enter in, it's always like, okay, we'll have to finish this later. It's like, even if you know your main character is going to win, you just want to see it through. So I appreciate that. And I also appreciate the fact that seemingly old Dumbledore's going to be the one to fight Innocent Zero. Because, I mean, unless Mash breaks free, he could. But I appreciate that he didn't just do it right away. I don't know, this was a crazy episode. Let me know what you thought down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell so you get notified when I upload more. Like I mentioned, we got that full live reaction over on my Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Pixel Caliber, Sign, and Ashless. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.